Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight on the news, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson officially becomes a Supreme Court justice. Plus, hang on, some dangerous wind gusts in central Nebraska, knocking over semis. But first,
I think it's the biggest tax cut bill that we've ever passed in state history.
it looks like major tax relief is coming to Nebraska. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. Megan has the 5 and 6 o'clock off. After weeks of debate, state lawmakers did it, agreeing to a nearly $900 million tax cut over the next several years. Yosef Nasser was at the Capitol earlier today. He joins us in the studio here with more. Yosef?
Good evening, Rod. Speaker Mike Hilgers tells me that today was one of the best days he's had in his 6 years at the Nebraska legislature. Keep in mind, this is something that politicians have run on for years, something they've promised, as you mentioned, and today they delivered as lawmakers agreeing to a historic tax cut that will reduce income, property, and Social Security taxes for Nebraskans. Today, nearly a $900 million tax cut was passed by a 43-0 vote in the Nebraska legislature. One of the things the bill will do is cut the top individual and corporate income tax rates to 5.84% by 2027. That's down from 6.8% for individuals, 7.5% for corporations.
It's the most significant income tax cut, makes us competitive with other states, give more families more of their own money back.
That's what we ought to do when we have revenues that exceed what we need to run state government. So this is a great day.
The bill will also create income tax credits for property owners who will be able to get back money that they pay in community college taxes, as well as do away with Social Security tax by 2025. Now, critics of the bill tell me that it primarily helps corporations and not everyday Nebraskans. More on that coming up at 6, plus reaction from Governor Ricketts on 3 of his vetoes that were overturned. That's coming up right after this tonight at 6.
You bet. I know you'll have it all for us. Thank you so much, Yosef Nasser, reporting for us here in the studio. No doubt about it, as many of you know, a very windy day today, but that can be especially dangerous for semi drivers. Take a look at this. The State Patrol with these pictures saying central Nebraska really had it the worst today. Several overturned semis, and you can see there the wind blowing, really blowing around that dust, causing visibility issues. We caught up with one truck driver at a Lincoln truck stop.
Driving along, being blown all over the road, and like I said, as soon as you look in your mirror to try to see what's around you, you're on the rumble strips. Then you got to get back over, and then as soon as the wind comes back across, it hits the side of the truck and sends you over in the other lane again.
Can you imagine? Not a fun job to have on a day like today. The State Patrol told us they helped guide some semi-drivers who were parked on the shoulders there of the interstate, helped them get off the interstate to a safe place so they could park for a while. And they were hoping that the gusts were going to die down. Let's check in with John. What was the highest wind gust you saw today, John?
We've seen gusts over 70 miles per hour in some locations, which I'll show you in just a moment, just some of the peak wind gusts. But still, as of this hour, the winds are still gusting out of the northwest, 40 and over 50 miles per hour. High gusts right now, 52 mile per hour in Aurora, 51 mile per hour wind gust out towards Kearney and Grand Island. Head further west, Broken Bow, you've got wind gusts of 64 miles per hour as of 5 o'clock. And it's Broken Bow that leads the list for high or peak wind gusts today. Broken Bow had a 72 mile per hour wind gust, Cozart at 68 mile per hour, Guide Rock 66, Phillips a 65 mile per hour wind gust, Grand Island had a 63 mile per hour gust, and Hastings 62 miles per hour this afternoon. By the way, Lincoln had a peak wind gust today. I believe it was 56 miles per hour. Now, as we go through the rest of the evening, we're going to keep these winds around, not quite as strong as what we've seen today. So we'll eventually see our winds gusting to 40 miles per hour as we go through the overnight hours, and maybe a little wind in the morning, but we'll notice the winds beginning to ease, at least a gust, as we go through the day tomorrow, and especially by late afternoon tomorrow. Otherwise, we will also have a few very light showers mixed with some occasional snow flurries moving through the area from north to south. Those will continue on for the next hour to 2. And then temperature-wise, it's much cooler and factor in the winds, and we have wind chill values in the 20s to low 30s. For the rest of this evening, a few rain showers possible by 6 o'clock, 41, 40 by 8, 38 degrees by 10 o'clock. The sky is clearing by morning. It may get chilly for some. We'll talk about that. Plus, the sun returns. I'll tell you when in my storm alert team forecast.
John, real quickly, we have heard that there was a pretty big grass fire going on right now in Gosper County. And they said right at the last time we checked that they didn't have anything contained. We hope to bring you video of that at 6 o'clock, but boy, the winds definitely hampering efforts to try and get that out, right?
Yeah, definitely not helping firefighters at all as the winds continue to gust, especially out in that area, upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour out of the northwest. So it would be blowing all the smoke to the southeast and potentially the flames to the southeast as well.
Again, we hope to bring a video of the fire in Gosper County coming up at 6 o'clock. Thank you, John. Other news now. Governor candidate Charles Herbster saying he wants to bring prayer back into the classrooms. It has made the news. He made the comment when asked about critical race theory during a forum held in Omaha.
Critical race theory is when you're teaching the things that are wrong with America. We need to go back in our school systems teaching reading, writing, arithmetic, prayer, and the flag salute, and what made America great.
Now, fellow Republican candidates Teresa Thibodeau and Brett Lindstrom were also at the forum. They each basically veered away from Herbster's answer, but Lindstrom did offer this.
We need to make sure that we're welcoming to all people. And I think part of that is walking the walk and the message that we send and the brand that we send as a state.
And absent from the forum, Jim Pillen, who has said he will not take part in these or debates. A couple of other big topics discussed: prisons and your taxes. We'll have the full story from all of the candidates coming up tonight on the news at 6 o'clock. And speaking of politics now, history being made today. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson confirmed by the Senate she will be the first black woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. ABC's Eyewitness Jachi has more.
And this nomination is confirmed.
History was made today. The Senate confirming Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court on a bipartisan basis, fulfilling President Biden's promise on the campaign trail to nominate the first black woman to the nation's highest court. President Biden and Judge Jackson watching the vote count from the Roosevelt Room. Vice President Kamala Harris presiding over Judge Jackson's confirmation vote in the Senate. Judge Jackson held one-on-one meetings with 97 senators on the Hill. She also sat through over 20 hours of questioning during her hearings and filed 330 pages of written responses. That's more written questions than any previous Supreme Court nominee. All Democrats rallied behind Judge Jackson, along with 3 Republicans.
Judge Jackson will go down in history as an American giant upon whose shoulders others will stand tall.
Republicans tried to paint her as soft on crime. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell once again slamming Jackson shortly before the vote, claiming she's failing to commit to oppose expanding the Supreme Court.
The solution is for all the justices to stay in their lane. There's one right number of justices who seek to follow the law. The number is 9.
ABC News now learning Judge Jackson promised Republican Senator Susan Collins that she would never take a position on that issue. Once Judge Jackson joins the court this fall, she'll be taking on several controversial cases, encompassing the death penalty, the Clean Water Act, and the humane treatment of animals in our food supply, to name a few. Now, one of the biggest cases of the fall so far is the challenge to Harvard and the University of North Carolina's use of race in college admissions, a case that could determine the future of affirmative action nationwide. Judge Jackson says she'll recuse herself from that case, given her position on Harvard's Board of Overseers. Eyewitness Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
And back here at home now, healthcare workers have begun to see a return to normal as COVID cases decline in the state. And this comes as a welcome change, of course, for workers who have dealt with COVID for the last 2 years.
We haven't been seeing those high concerns for COVID, and thankfully, yes, haven't been having to call any positive COVID results. Even the tests I've done have been more for travel purposes or things like that. So it's all around encouraging.
Health officials did see an uptick of flu later on in the season, but those numbers have returned back down to normal. Well, for the first time yesterday, Lincoln Littles used its new emergency alert system for local daycares. Lincoln police were serving a search warrant near the daycare with the SWAT team at the time, so the daycare received the alert that there were guns in the area. You see, the system is similar to alerts that schools get, with the goal, of course, keeping our kids safe.
I think the system worked incredibly well. I mean, we knew immediately that we needed to take some action. You know, as a parent, this would certainly make me feel much more confident that my child was safe.
As you heard, the alert worked just fine. Kids at the daycare had no idea anything was going on, and they were kept inside out of caution. Today marks 6 weeks of war by Russia on Ukraine. New images showing more evidence of Ukrainian civilians brutally murdered. ABC's Eyewitness is in Washington with the latest.
Today, Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Brussels along with other NATO leaders ahead of key talks with Ukraine's foreign minister, who made it clear what his country needs.
My agenda is very simple. It has only 3 items on it. It's weapons, weapons, and weapons.
We have been providing to Ukraine the weapons and systems that we believe it can use most effectively.
The U.S. now promising an additional $100 million worth of these Javelin anti-tank missiles. The U.S. also sending additional tiny, lethal Switchblade drones. They're small enough to fit in a backpack and can fly up to 25 miles away. Some can even pierce armor or blast holes in a tank. The distribution of more weapons to Ukraine comes as the UN General Assembly has voted to suspend Russia from the UN's Human Rights Council. Meanwhile, Russia's brutal assault on Ukraine continues. The UK's Ministry of Defense says Russian forces are now progressing in eastern Ukraine, focusing its military operations in the eastern Donbas region. In the port city of Mariupol, where fighting and shelling has been occurring for weeks, we're now learning Russian troops forcibly removed the staff and patients of a Mariupol hospital, deporting them to Russian cities. The Mariupol City Council claims at least 40,000 residents have been removed, with 5,000 killed since the invasion began. President Biden speaking out about those horrors after announcing new sanctions that bans all new investments in Russia, punishes Russia's largest banks, even targeting Russian President Vladimir Putin's adult daughters.
A sense of brutality and inhumanity left for all the world to see unapologetically. There's nothing less happening than major war crimes.
And the U.S. Senate has voted unanimously to end trade relations with Russia and to ban the importation of its oil. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
And World News Tonight, we'll have much more on this coming up right after this newscast. Much lighter news now. Play ball. Today is Major League Baseball's opening day, and fans in Kansas City were definitely excited.
I'm so excited to be back out with all my friends. I mean, I went to a few games last year, but now having our tailgate again, we've been doing this since 2003, and it's so exciting.
The windy weather did not stop Royals fans from tailgating ahead of opening day. There are 7 openers kicking off the season. It's a sigh of relief for fans after a 99-day lockout. But MLB and the Players Union did reach a deal on a new agreement less than a month ago. And speaking of sports, coming up, we take a look at the Masters and the incredible comeback of Tiger Woods. Stay with us. Now to the Masters and Tiger Woods, making an inspiring comeback today, just over a year after that horrific car crash. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
This morning, Tiger Woods officially back on the green in a historic comeback.
4, please. Now driving, Tiger Woods.
A moment doctors, fans, and Woods himself feared wouldn't be possible after a near-fatal car crash just 14 months ago.
My recovery has been good. I've been very excited about how I've recovered each and every day, and that's been the challenge.
It's been a long road to recovery for the 5-time Masters champion. After the accident, doctors had to perform emergency surgery to repair multiple fractures to Woods' right leg. The injuries so severe they considered amputating it.
Very fortunate that Mr. Woods was able to come out of this alive.
Endurance and perseverance bringing him back to one of the toughest courses in professional golf, Augusta, known for its hills.
That portion of that fairway is about the same slope as the second turn at Daytona.
This image from the Masters website shows the 18 long holes Tiger will have to walk 4 times in 4 days.
Walking is the hard part. This is normally not an easy walk to begin with. It's going to be a tough challenge, and a challenge that I'm up for.
And Woods has played through a string of injuries and setbacks for years, including winning the 2008 U.S. Open with a broken left leg and winning the 2019 Masters after several back and knee surgeries. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
A very windy, raw day. Not much in the way of any sunshine. In fact, we've been cloudy throughout the day time period, and even mixing in some rain and snow at times. All thanks to this weather system. 2 days ago, this was sitting back in western Minnesota. It's been slowly moving off to the east and now southeast, and this will finally begin to move out of here and take the clouds and the wraparound moisture on the backside of this out of here as we go through the day tomorrow. Now, winds have been incredible, especially on the backside of the system, where winds have been gusting 40, 50, 60, and even 70 miles per hour in some spots. Right now in southeast Nebraska, we've got winds gusting generally 40 to 50 to 55 miles per hour. So still, if you've got plans this evening to drive along I-80, hang on with both hands because you're going to get blown around most likely. Take a look at some of the peak wind gusts from today. As high as 72 miles per hour in Broken Bow. Cozart had a wind gust of 68 miles per hour. Guide Rock 65 mile per hour gust in Phillips. Grand Island had a 63 mile per hour gust and 62 miles per hour in Hastings. Now, as we go through the rest of the evening, we're going to keep the winds gusting upwards of right around 40 miles per hour, so not as strong as they were a little earlier. We may have a few gusts early tomorrow morning as well, upwards of 35 miles per hour. I do think as we go through the day, and I think Stormcast may be just a little high with the winds, I think as we head towards late afternoon, we're going to notice those winds beginning to ease. We may have some gusts to 25, maybe as much as 30 miles per hour, but again, some big changes compared to what we've had this afternoon. We take a live look right now from Honda of Lincoln looking to the northwest. Raindrops, there's at least some water drops on the lens. If you look closely, especially down towards the bottom of the screen, you may see some raindrops and maybe mixed with a little graupel or snow flying through the sky right now. We've got little showers that are passing through. It's also cool. Now, it's just a few thousand feet up is where temperatures are much colder, and that's what's allowing some of this precipitation to freeze. But we're sitting at 42 degrees in Lincoln after a high temperature of 46 this afternoon. 42 in Beatrice, 41 in Friend, and it's only 40 degrees in Aurora. Factor in those winds, and we've got wind chill values into the mid-20s to low 30s. So definitely a raw feeling afternoon and now heading towards the evening. And you can see on radar how this is all moving off to the south and southeast right now. And again, some of this could be mixed with a little snow. I am not expecting any of this to accumulate on the ground, but just don't be surprised to hear some of it either hitting the roof, hitting the window on the side of the house or apartment, or even bouncing off the hood of your car as you're driving around this evening. Now, overnight, we'll see our temperatures dropping down into the upper 20s to low 30s. So a chilly start. We'll start to see skies clearing tomorrow morning. I think Stormcast may be hanging onto the clouds just a little too long. Wouldn't be surprised if we see sunshine breaking out in Lincoln by 10 o'clock in the morning. But notice by noon, western areas completely clear of nice sunshine. Lincoln will turn sunny as we head towards the afternoon. Temperatures rebounding back up into the 50s, so it will be warmer tomorrow, albeit still about 10 degrees below normal. A high temperature of 53 degrees in Lincoln and 53 in Beatrice. Winds will be going from the northwest to the north, still sustained 12 to 22, but instead of gusting 50 miles per hour or higher, we're talking gusts to 35. 7-day forecast for Saturday is looking pretty nice. High temperature of 65 degrees. Keep in mind that 65 will not happen until late afternoon or even closer to 6 o'clock in the evening. Now on Sunday, we'll see temperatures getting up into the low 70s. It turns a little breezy once again. Next week, there's still some question marks about Tuesday, Wednesday, as far as the timing when we could see some thunderstorms. Some of the models suggest Tuesday, some hold it off until Wednesday. So don't be surprised if this moves around just a little bit in the forecast. And then as we get past that and towards next weekend, we'll see temperatures anywhere from the 50s to low 70s as another cold front passes through the area.
You know, John, getting back to those wind gusts today, I was driving my youngest daughter's little Buick car into work. It was being pushed all over the place, and that's just a little car. Can you imagine people driving the high-profile vehicles out there?
Semi or an RV? Yeah. You're just a big sail in the wind.
All right. Thank you so much, John. And here's a look at Wall Street today. It wasn't too bad. The Dow was up 87. NASDAQ gained 8.5. Here are your numbers. We'll be right back. And finally tonight, are you a fan of Pink Floyd? They are reuniting for a good cause. The legendary rock band is releasing the new single called Hey Hey Rise Up. It's going to be on Friday. All proceeds go to Ukrainian humanitarian relief. Pink Floyd hasn't released new music in 28 years. Hey Hey Rise Up features the band's original guitarist, David Gilmour, right there, and drummer Nick Mason. Apparently it does not include Roger Waters, but it is going to include vocals from the Ukrainian band Boombox, which performed in central Kyiv recently to protest the Russian invasion. Gilmour says that performance encouraged him to do this project. So every little bit helps, of course. Let's get a final check on the weather with John. And winds. Are they going to, how long are they going to howl?
They're going to howl as we go through the overnight hours, but maybe not as strong as what we've seen today. They'll be gusting to 40 miles per hour overnight. You can see still as of 5 o'clock, winds are out of the northwest, gusting upwards of 50 miles per hour. Also mixed in with that, some rain showers. You may hear them on your roof or hitting up against the window as we go through the evening. I think after about 7, 8 o'clock, that chance for moisture quickly goes away. For the rest of this evening, 40 degrees by 8, 38 degrees by 10.
All right, thank you, John, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We always appreciate it. World News with David Muir is up next, and we'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
DQ is taking your taste buds for a ride with the new Signature Stack Burger menu, featuring 5 mouth-wowing cheeseburgers. Like, try the new DQ Signature Stack Burger menu today. DQ, happy tastes good.